thanks for clicking on the code. I bet you want to learn how this thing works. This is called a Skierg, made by Concept 2, very similar to a rowing machine. It's basically a rowing machine set vertically to simulate the act of what your arms do with Nordic skiing, skate skiing, and with classic skiing, okay? So let me show you how to get going on this thing. First, follow me to the machine. I'm gonna show you a couple of settings you wanna look at, okay? First off, there's an adjustment here, very similar to the rowing machine, a little lever where 1 is down here and 10 is at the top. This is going to feel like resistance, but it's not. It's supposed to simulate at the 10 level, really slow, heavy snow, and at the 1 level, very fast, slippery snow. It's a matter of how much it slows down between each stroke, not how hard it is to pull, okay? So it's best to start with this between like a 1 and 3 or 4, or even as much as 5. And I'm not sure about you, but if skiing on slow snow really isn't that much fun, so I probably never put it above 5. The second thing to note is the computer on here, okay? Again, similar to the rowing machine. If I turn this on, what I'm going to do to start this is just press the top button where it says just ski. And now when it comes to units and watching to see how fast I'm going or how hard I'm working, I'm going to click the unit button until I see watts. I'm going to use watts. That's just a very general measure of how much work you're doing. That's what I'm going to use. Okay. So let me put you back and let's see how this thing works. Okay. So that's how to set it up for you to begin with. Okay. The handles are up top. So you grab those. There's a nice kind of a big fat flat end to it. And that's going to sit against the outer side of my the palm of my hand. Okay, so here's our position. Now I'll show you both techniques. First, double polling. So put 2 hands together. I'm going to reach up slightly above my head. Okay, the motion is going to be initiated by my mostly by my stomach muscles being really tight and my hips hinging. So I start by pretending I'm going to sit in a chair. My bum reaches backwards. I hinge at the hips. My elbows are at 90 and they pretty much stay there the whole time. My elbows reach back a little bit, and the end of the stroke is with my thumbs at my thighs. Again, my elbows really haven't straightened out. If you learned to ski in the 80s, you would have learned to like straighten those elbows out, but it's not the 80s anymore. Okay, so slow motion. This is my start. Hinge from the hip, bum reaches backwards. I crunch like a sit-up, and then those hands end up beside my thigh. So here we go. The first couple strokes are a little heavy to get that wheel rolling, okay? And this is it, okay? On my computer, top right-hand corner is a little window that says S/M, so strokes per minute. Strokes per minute here should be as low as maybe 30, probably no higher than 40, okay? Again, this isn't a flailing exercise. This is simulate skiing, okay? So here's my double polling. My stroke rate is 36, going fairly gentle. So my watts are 55 watts. If I want this to be a more vigorous, more intense workout, I'm simply going to sit faster with more vigor, okay? I'm going to pull that down faster, but my stroke rate stays around 35, 36, okay? Now I can add a little bit of ankle action to this, where I come up onto my heels, as you see those skiers do, okay? So I pop up and then sit, just like so. All right. Now to simulate Nordic or classic skiing also involves double polling, but it'll use 1 pole at a time. So basically, imagine you're out on the trail, skiing in the snow, right? And so what I showed you before, I'm continuing to repeat with just 1 arm at a time. Notice that my bum still reaches backwards. I'm still hinging from the hip to initiate every stroke, okay? And now my stroke rate has doubled because I'm alternating 1 arm at a time, okay? So if I was doing 35 before, and now it shows 7. Okay. If I want this to be more vigorous, I simply hit from the top harder. Okay. Like I've got a hammer in my hand and I'm trying to pound that nail in. But I'm remembering that my power comes from my stomach and my ability to hinge, sit back, and my arms just follow through with that. Okay. I would recommend doing this in small bursts. So maybe 1 minute at a time, 2 minutes at a time. Then rest, see what that feels like. Do 2 or 3 sets of that, and go from there. So there you go. That's how you use our Skierg. Have fun.